Hi, my name is Samantha Kotlik and I'm a full-time realtor here in beautiful Sarasota and Lakewood Ranch. I grew up in England and I decided in my 30s I was going to move to Sydney, Australia for a new adventure. I spent the next 10 years in Sydney and I lived in Bondi Beach, living the dream. I often say to people that Sydney was really the love of my life before I met my husband. Coming from Sydney, we knew that we needed access to a decent sized city, but we didn't necessarily want to live in a major hub like we'd been used to. Sarasota has delivered on every level, from the quality and sophistication of the restaurants and the cultural activities to the stunning beaches. Becoming a realtor was a very natural progression for me after my previous career in recruiting and more recently as a home stager. My first experience in real estate was actually back in England in the late 90s. That was my first step into real estate, and I actually sold property in some quite prestigious areas of North London, Hampstead and East Finchley at that time. I then went into recruitment consulting and matched people to their ideal careers, and there was a lot of listening and understanding of what makes a person tick. When I first arrived in Sarasota, I decided to pursue a creative dream that I'd always had. So I started my own home staging business. I really loved it, and I really loved just being with the sellers, and I loved being creative and thinking outside the box about strategies to help them sell their property. And then one day I just thought to myself, I think it's time for me to reinvestigate real estate, and I consider my staging experience to be my secret weapon for my seller clients. We never need to hire a stager. Win-win. My husband and I own investment properties in downtown Sarasota. We also own properties in South Sarasota on boatable water. But a couple of years ago, we actually moved our own home to Lakewood Ranch and absolutely love it. In the last few years, I think Lakewood Ranch has really come into its own. It's become much busier. We have a new area called Waterside Place, which is a new downtown area. And I think I've really kind of thrown myself into the market here as well. So I feel like I have really great knowledge about several areas around Sarasota and Lakewood Ranch that is really valuable to home buyers and sellers. A challenge that I faced when I first got licensed was understanding the different real estate purchase contracts in Florida. I'm sure that some people think that a realtor just opens doors at a property or puts a listing on the MLS, but a good agent should be doing so much more than that for their clients. And in my mind, understanding a contract that you are going to ask someone to sign was a little daunting to start with. Education is key. Any education that I can get on any topic really to do with real estate, I just soak it up, because it's such a fast changing industry that if you don't keep up to date with the information, you really will be out of touch pretty quickly. Honestly, I'm a bit of a homebody at heart. As much as I love culture and being social, I also love just being at home with Matt, my husband, and our two chocolate Labradors, Benson and Lily. Apart from that, we're big travelers. With family in England and Boston, we are always jetting somewhere to see them. And when we travel for pure vacation purposes, we love to go anywhere in Europe or explore different states in the US. All of that said, flying into Sarasota and Tampa Airport with its turquoise water, blue sky, and sunshine is always a pretty good welcome home. Giving back is something that I believe in wholeheartedly. I volunteer my time for the Humane Society of Sarasota, and I also sponsor guide dog puppies for Southeastern Guide Dogs. I also support a local friend's non-profit called Living 127. They are a small organisation doing amazing work for orphanages in South and Central America, so it's a great cause. Sarasota has so much wonderful food. A favourite restaurant of ours is a new restaurant called Asteria 500. It's actually in the new downtown Lakewood Ranch area called Waterside Place. It's a real fun, modern, authentic Italian restaurant that has just a really fun vibe, but the food is phenomenal. Just fresh Italian food, fresh ingredients. And they have an amazing patio where you can just go and have an Aperol Spritz while you wait for your table, so that's a really nice experience. Living in Australia spoiled us a bit for Asian cuisine, but we have found some great Thai and Japanese fusion food in downtown Sarasota. So Sarasota really does have it all when it comes to dining. Having dogs, we don't go to the beach very often. When we do go to the beach, we go to Venice Dog Beach because obviously we can take the pups on the beach and they can go for a swim. But on the rare occasion we do go to the beach, Sarasota beaches are absolutely amazing. I would say my favorite beach is probably Lido Key. And I really like Lido just because you don't have a long walk to the sand. There's usually parking, and then when you come off the beach, there are so many great restaurants and bars at St. Armand's Circle that you can go in and have a cocktail or have something to eat when you leave the beach. I think what many people don't know is that Sarasota is actually a very highly regarded city as far as the arts and culture, such as ballet, opera, and some amazing museums and theatres. So we have so much culture in this city that it kind of feels like it should be a big major city, but it's actually a small city that's got a very friendly feel, but a real big city vibe as far as the culture goes. Whether you are a foodie, a culture vulture, or a beach bum, Sarasota delivers on it all. Playing an instrumental part in such an important chapter of my customer's life is something that I never ever take for granted. Whether I'm working with first-time buyers who need guidance all of the way because they've just never done it before, or I'm working with an experienced investor looking to grow their property portfolio, each situation has its own rewards for me and it keeps me on my toes every day.